Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I just want to apologize in advance for the noise in the background, any background noise you might hear. It's the middle of the day here on Sunday and there's a lot of families and people about. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry, I'll try to edit it out. But the purpose of today's video is to review some Sangin Instruments watches. I have two watches here, the Kinetic II SOG and the Sangin Professional. I was gone for a while and I haven't been able to post on my channel because I recently returned from an operation overseas, and I was also sick for a week after I came back from the operation, so that kind of derailed any plans to film a YouTube video. But now that I'm feeling a bit better, I have the chance and I am doing this review now. And to the people in the local community that I met on this operation, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you for your hospitality, for hosting us, for taking care of us, making our stay as comfortable as possible, and really just tending to our every need and request whenever we asked for something. I genuinely appreciate it, and it means a lot to me and my fellow Marines. So thank you very much for that. I genuinely appreciate it. With that being said, let's actually talk about these watches. So my goal with this video is to give basically an overview of what I did with these watches, what kinds of tests and shock I put them through, and just talk about how these watches performed during this month-long testing that I subjected them to. I wore these watches every day on this operation, and they were constantly on my wrist. The only times that I took them off was when I was in the shower or when I was sleeping. Otherwise, I was doing quite literally everything in them, and I really wanted to push these watches to the limit and subject them to some very adverse conditions. And I feel that I did that to the best of my ability considering the circumstances that I was in. So without further ado, let's actually do an overview of these watches, starting with this Kinetic II SOG. So this Kinetic II is the Sangin Owners Group Edition. This is a limited edition by Sangin Instruments for members of the Sangin Owners Group. So this was only limited to 100 pieces, and it's not currently available on the website, and Sangin has no plans to recreate this watch. But if you get lucky, you might actually find one of these for list on eBay for a premium, of course, if you want to spend that much money. But you're not going to get this at retail. This was a one-time release, and I don't think Sangin plans to make this again. However, the standard Kinetic II edition is available for purchase on the website, so you can find that. But as far as the specs go for this watch, this is a 43.5 millimeter case width with a 42 millimeter bezel width, 49.5 millimeter lug-to-lug length, and a case thickness of 13 millimeters. It has a 20 millimeter lug width, but I currently have a 22 millimeter Artem NATO strap on it. And it is a aluminum bronze finished case with a screw down crown, which is recessed on the left side to prevent damage. It has a double dome sapphire crystal with a multi-layer blue anti-reflective coating on the interior in order to prevent scratches on the surface of the sapphire. And it's powered by Superluminova BGW9 old radium. So there is a bit of a faux tina on the hands and indices, and that is due to the color of the Luminova used. Additionally, it has a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It's 300 meters water resistant, and it is powered by a Swiss Ronda quartz movement with a GMT complication and a date function that is accurate to -10 plus 20 seconds a month. And that is pretty much it for the specifications. I know that was a mouthful, but I'll try to include a screenshot of that later. As for the Professional, a lot of these specifications are the same. The bezel width is the same, the case width is the same, lug-to-lug length is the same, the case thickness is 12 millimeters, same lug width, The case material on this is 316L stainless steel, but it has a DLC black coating. Same movement, same Superluminova paint used on the hands and indices, and yeah, same water resistance. These are pretty much identical in specifications, except that the case material is different, and this one has a DLC coating on the case itself. Otherwise, these are basically identical in terms of their specifications, which I think is a good thing. But as far as the field testing goes and the things that I subjected it to, I put these watches through a lot. So in addition to just wearing these day in, day out, when we were overseas, we were in an extremely hot and humid environment. And in the case of the Kinetic II, if you guys know anything about chemistry, or you know anything about bronze watches specifically, bronze watches tend to react to the acids and the chemical secretions from your skin somewhat adversely, and that tends to create a patina on the finish of the bronze case, as well as the reactions to any molecules in the air. That also creates a patina on the case, and in especially wet or humid environments, that patina and that coppery green substance that forms on the cases of bronze tends to develop a lot quicker. And that was something I definitely noticed happen with the Kinetic II SOG when I was overseas. I also tended to take this into the pool with me sometimes whenever I had some R&R. I took this into the pool with me, dunked it into the pool, and had I not given it a vinegar bath later on and dried it off immediately, I think I'd see a lot more of that turquoise coppery finish on the surface of the case, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I know that some people tend to prefer that, but in terms of keeping this watch in a generally good state, I wanted to make sure that the patina wasn't too drastic on this watch. Additionally, I should note that these watches are not mine personally. These were lent to me by my mother. She purchased these with her own money, and she lent them to me for this operation, and I took them out and used them. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, despite putting them through their paces and testing the limits of their endurance, I still wanted to treat them nicely. There's no torture test, there's nothing super crazy that I put these through, but I did subject these to some harsh conditions because I was confident that they could hold up to that. For anybody who knows this channel and has watched my previous videos, you'll know that I am an owner of a Sangin Overlord, which is more like of a field watch style Hamilton khaki field-esque variant of Sangin's watches. It's their entry-level model. It's a very reliable watch as well, and I have no complaints about that watch at all. And frankly, I have no complaints about this either. So, in addition to just wearing these daily, I also performed a fair amount of manual labor wearing the Kinetic II and the Professional. I was digging trenches, setting up large tents, carrying around a lot of heavy gear, hammering stakes into the ground, and with the Kinetic II, I was swinging a lot of pickaxes into trenches, and really subjecting this particular watch to a lot of shock, probably a greater amount of shock than other watches would be able to withstand. So I can happily say that during that specific testing, the Kinetic II SOG had 0 issues, and I didn't notice any variations in accuracy. The watch is totally fine, nothing fell off, nothing broke. It's completely okay. Excuse me. The shock resistance of the watches in general is up to par, and it's just extremely tough and durable. I really don't think that there's anything that I could personally do to any of these watches that would damage them, aside from doing something extremely negligent like, you know, spiking it into the ground or shooting it with one of my guns. speaking of shooting, I took this one out to the range with me, and I used my M&P 2.0 and my AR-15 while wearing this watch, and the recoil of those weapons did not affect this watch at all. This watch is a solid performer when shooting high round counts, and if you are on the range, I can say confidently that this is a watch you can trust will survive anything when it comes to putting rounds down range. As far as accuracy goes with both of these watches, these are again powered by quartz Ronda movements, and all I can say about the accuracy is that despite not being too stringent with the accuracy testing, they are within specifications, and they do tend to run slightly fast, which for anybody who knows anything about watches, like, that's typically what you would want. It would be better for you to be early for something than late, and to me that's just common sense. As far as the design from a functionalist perspective goes, the watches are extremely legible in all environments. The crown size is very useful for making quick adjustments. It's not hard to adjust the crown when you're wearing gloves. It's easy to manipulate. The bezel functionality is very smooth, it's very clicky, very tactile. And again, the dial is easily readable in just about any environment, thanks to the size of the hands and the numeral and the indices. Very easily readable in both daylight and low light conditions. The lume glows extremely brightly in low light conditions, and that is a huge plus to me. So something else I want to talk about regarding these watches, right? And something that's been brought up before is where these watches stand in comparison to something cheaper like your standard G-Shock. Sangin watches are marketed to customers as tactical tools. They are the kinds of watches that professionals that are first responders or tactical professionals will take with them into the field, into adverse environments, and are versatile enough to be worn anywhere from downrange to a meeting room, right? And that to me is an important distinction when it comes to where Sangins stand and G-Shock stand. So Sangins are purpose-built with input from both conventional and special operations forces. They have a more refined aesthetic that is paired with robust specifications, and that presents a more professional image without sacrificing, durability or reliability. G-Shocks are definitely tough, and I'm not denying that at all. I am confident that this G-Shock would survive absolutely anything that I put it through, and there is almost no situation that I would go into where this G-Shock would not survive. However, for some individuals, being part of a tight-knit user group with easy access to company leadership for the purposes of servicing and warranty needs, that kind of thing matters, especially when you compare that to the mass-produced nature of a G-Shock. Additionally, going back to the versatility point, these watches are just going to be a little bit more versatile than a G-Shock. They're going to present a more professional image. They're a bit more low signature, and they're not going to be as easily associated with your activities as compared to like wearing a G-Shock. So overall, these Sangin watches perform flawlessly. I really don't have any criticisms of these watches at all in terms of like putting them through shooting, manual labor. I don't have any criticisms of them in terms of wearability. And in terms of a tool watch standard, I think these definitely meet the standard of being called a tool watch, because they are robust, they're just really durable, they are extremely tough, and they can survive whatever you throw at them. And they just run. They run well, and you can trust them. I would say that if you are a utilitarian individual who is looking for something that just works, this is definitely something to consider as well. And it's a step above your standard G-Shock. It is definitely an option that is worth considering, because at the end of the day, if you want something that is going to tell you the time accurately and reliably and won't die on you and won't die after 3 days of not wearing, this is what you should go for. These watches are solid. They're absolutely solid, and I trust them with anything. With that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Again, I know it's been a long time since I've posted. Again, being on this operation and then getting sick for a week really derailed my upload schedule. But with that being said, I plan to upload a lot more in the coming weeks, and I hope you guys stick around. Let me know your thoughts down on Sangin below, and I look forward to hearing you guys in the comments. Thanks for watching, and take care.